Comrade Mornah is a flag bearer of the People's National Convention. He joins us on the line. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
We have hope.
You have hope?
We have hope.
What are you hoping for?
There will be massive change in the political structure in Ghana in 2024 by the National Executive Committee's decision yesterday that the PNC should back the presidential candidature of John Mahama, since the Electoral Commission unjustly took that out of the ballot.
Is it a decision that you personally agree with?
There could not have been a better decision. I would have thought that if we were not declaring for
radio station you can call your own,
that if we are not declaring for the CPP, the NPP is the most veritable option, and the next took the decision for the NDC, and I totally subscribe to it.
So for you, the CPP would have been the first point of call, because you share the same ideological background with them.
Yeah, my position has been that we have members of parliament contesting, and as we are aware, we are contesting in the Domi-Kwabenya constituency, and so we believe that the NDC and NPP are the people who are responsible for the caricature of Ghana's democracy. The next, however, was the opinion that they have done regional observations, and they think that the NDC is closer in terms of ideology, and above all, that my candidature for the 2024 elections indicated that the NPP was doing a poor job and we needed change. And so therefore, we cannot be backing those who have been or we are contesting to change them. Worst of all is that if we are in this current economic quagmire, it is because Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have led us poorly. We cannot endorse another term of poor leaders.
But then, the last time I checked, you were in the Court of Appeal.
Actually, we were under the Supreme Court. Okay. We are behaving like the Electoral Commission that got to the Supreme Court after our lawyers opened up. Then the Electoral Commission started fighting that the Supreme Court is not clothed with the jurisdiction to hear the matter, and that was their only defense. And yet the Supreme Court will go and declare that the decision was wrong. So I feel that it's like the justice system is not only badly corrupted, but it's mutilated beyond remedy.
You're saying they went before the Supreme Court with one argument, that the Supreme Court is not clothed with jurisdiction.
In fact, when our lawyers finished their submission, I can tell you that, look, everybody that was there felt ashamed. They felt ashamed because you could see that the lawyer of the Electoral Commission was visibly shaking. And after that, all that he said was that, look, we should have gone to the Court of Appeal, not the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court doesn't have jurisdiction. And I recall that Justice Franco telling that, no, we are talking about human rights issues, we are talking about constitutional issues, and no other structure of the court is well clothed than the Supreme Court. And so the question of jurisdiction was dismissed. There was no other argument by the Electoral Commission. And yet the Supreme Court upheld their position. And so I remember, and those who were in court will attest, that and said that was too harsh. And my lawyer said that was friendly fire. The man himself had given up. How the Supreme Court could rule in favor of somebody who knew after the submission and presentation of case that no, they have no merit, eventually won, means that it's like a template. And so I didn't take kindly when Justice Danko, who was then the presiding judge, said that, oh, I am likely to be Ghana's president, and so they needed to do this. I mean, you could see that there was a bit of remorse even from the justices. I don't know what influence they came under. If I am going to be Ghana's president, you don't determine the time that I should be Ghana's president. The people of Ghana should determine whether it is now or in the future.
Well, that aside, now the decision has been made by NEC. What would this decision mean in practicality? Exactly what would the PNC be doing?
Well, today, as a way, we will join the campaign of John Dramani Mahama. We are waiting for the itinerary. I've reached out to his handlers to tell us what time the program will start. I'm only taking hearsay that he will be at the House of Chiefs and he will go and sign a big treaty, then do Ayawaso. So the party has decision that we should be part of today's program. And then over the weekend, we lost one of our own, Edward Jadari, and all of us will be in Nandom. After that, the national leadership, particularly myself, will join John Dramani Mahama. The running mate will join Nana, and the national chairman of our party will join the national chairman of the NDC, and then so on and so forth. We want to distribute ourselves until the elections are won.
And already I know you were campaigning in the northern regions of Ghana, and when I mean the entire north, you spent some significant time there. What indications are you getting in terms of
when you have been monitoring without calling me? Are you a witch or a wizard?
It is my job to know.
Well, the ground is spoiled for change. In fact, as somebody would say, it is not we who need change, but Ghana needs us. You know, we should not be struggling for change, but change needs us. So for me, I think that the hour is now, the moment is here. The people of Ghana don't need change. Change needs them. What we are going through, we cannot go through it for even 1 month more after the 2024 season. And so, when change needs you, all you have to do is to avail the opportunity for change. And that is why I am convinced that these elections, with our supporting John Dramani Mahama, and not his parliamentary candidates, take note, wherever we have parliamentary candidates, we will be campaigning alongside. And so we are convinced that the presidential level, heavy change is coming.
I know your political, your ideological leanings, and of course, you know you have been in politics for some time. You know former President Mahama quite well. You know many of the actors within the NDC quite well, the main actors. How confident are you that what you expect to happen to Ghana will happen when they win the elections?
You know, one of the things I've told many of my people, particularly in Uganda, who think that Bobby Wine is not well suited. I said, when the teacher finishes teaching and the blackboard is messy, right? What do you need to wipe out? You look for a duster. It will really use a useless rag. But in order that you are able to start afresh, you have to take that rag to clear the space so that new material can be put have to cut off the NPP, first and foremost, before we can think about how to govern. Because see, the environmental destruction that has eaten everything, the investment losses that has left people to their griefs, and some are suffering permanent impairment, stroke, and other things. The lack of condor for Ghanaian businesses, the stealing, not corruption, the stealing of state lands and everything by this government should first be stopped before we can then take the steps to retrieve all the mess that they have. And so there is a lot of things to be done. But most importantly, let us kick them out. Once we kick them out, then we can talk about what ought to be done in order to salvage our nation from further decay.
Well, thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you.
And wish you all the best. We'll actually be in touch.
Without letting me know. Now I have to be careful where I am.
We'll actually be in touch. We'll be in touch. Thank you. Thank you very much. Comrade Mornah is flag bearer of the People's National Convention. They've thrown their weight behind the National Democratic Congress for the change he believes Ghana urgently needs in the upcoming elections. Well, attention has just been drawn